We're here today with Barbara Diane Barry to talk about her upcoming book, Painting Your Way Out of a Corner, and its new method of daily journal painting. Barbara, you've taught journal painting to everyone from CEOs to new mothers to new scientists. What is journal painting precisely?
The way I see it, journal painting is a process of painting that's about using your imagination to find out what limits you in life. And it's very simply done with a brush and some very basic watercolors. And one image takes you to another, and you make it up as you go along. And while you're doing that, what happens is you get to know the critics that are watching you, the attitudes that come up and say, you know, that's not good enough, or why are you doing this? And you have a chance to really look at not only what limits you on paper, but what's limiting you in your life, day to day.
Okay. So you've spent 15 years teaching the method of journal painting through your, Art for Self-Discovery classes. What results and benefits have you seen your students gain from daily journal painting?
Oh, from little things to seismic. I'll start with a very simple one. I had a woman who painted with me for quite a while, and suddenly she finally went home and painted her living room Chinese red because she'd always wanted to, but she just didn't dare. It was too out there. I've had professional people, like a book producer who works with me. She uses the painting process to jumpstart her new projects. When she doesn't know how to get started, she needs some energy and some time to just let things move around, and then she can go. I had a bride once that used it to work through her angst. Instead of becoming bridezilla, she used the painting to work out the nervousness and the pressures that she was feeling. And I've also had people who use it for loss, someone who lost a relative, or I had someone who got lung cancer, and she used it through the whole time she was with that disease. So it can go from tiny things to big things.
Okay. So how did you discover the method then?
I started journaling for myself like an artist to try out ideas, and I thought if I took myself out of the public eye and I did it where nobody could see, I would feel freer and take more risks. Unfortunately, my own eye was more critical than probably the public's, and I started working with that. But it was really when I switched to painting rather than drawing, where I couldn't erase anymore, that I began to listen to the critics in my head and what they were saying, and it was a big step. It was a big step for me. And then, I just continued, and it really helped me to change my life.
Great. So in the book, along with the exercises that you give for people starting out to learn how to do journal painting, you also support it with scientific studies that prove the benefits of doing this on a daily basis. What is the most surprising discovery you found in your research?
Oh, there's so many. I'll pick one of the early ones I found was a Dr. Charles Lim at Johns Hopkins University. He took jazz musicians and put them in an MRI and watched what their brains were doing while they were playing on a keyboard. I don't know how they did that lying in a, but and what happened, what he saw was that the areas of all the senses connected with the senses were activated when they were improvising. And that's what happens when you sleep. In deep REM sleep, when you're dreaming, those areas get activated. So it's a real heightened self-awareness. And I think that's what happens when you're painting. It's like wakeful dreaming. You're painting and you're making things up and you don't know where it's going, and things come to you. Also, if you do it enough times and you practice, you gain more gray matter. That's your outer brain cells.
So it actually changes?
It actually grows. It actually grows. So
that's
a lot of good reasons to do it.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for people who want to start doing journal painting?
I've thought about this a lot, and I think not how you hold a brush and not what colors to use, but getting in touch with your sense of humor. Because when these little things come up, you need to be able to laugh at yourself, and that was a really hard one for me. I was so controlled and wanted everything to be safe and not make a mistake that when I finally worked on this over and over again, I was able to find jokes in my own paintings and find how funny I was, and talk back to my critics, and say, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to just let you sit by the side while I try something else.
Okay.
And I think it really works.